lion. We brought Jesus. We brought the PMoon podcast in for another episode. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. Lion. Okay, running the pack, baby. All right. Let's go. Okay? We're coming out swinging right now. Coming out swinging. Everybody is calling. Boys from years ago, dudes getting their lives together. But I figured this is the perfect time, to tell you something. You forgot who you are. You forgot who you are. Let me remind you, Let me remind you who you are. You are, you're yourself. You're the soul that's walking around in a body in this planet, and you got one chance to take it, Remember who sent you. God sent you. And you're here for a purpose. So all you men without purpose, it's time to get it back. We're just walking around like, little scared little ferrets, hiding in holes, we're afraid of society, I'm scared over here, don't want to speak too loud, they'll shoot me down, like the friggin' like those old posters that used to be like in your high school with the hot air balloon, rise above the rest, but if you do, you get shot. But anyways, that's the point of it. God sent you. God killed his only son or himself to prove a point. So let's prove some points, I guess the hot air balloon you're flying around in is trying to tell you something, rise above the rest. Don't be like everybody else, stand out, man. I mean, what are we doing? Everybody, you're not zebra, okay? You're a lion. You're a lion. You know why zebra got stripes? So they blend into the pack, and then the lions that hunt them, can't really tell which one's which. It's survival by being in a group, by a mass thing, but the zebra still gets eaten at the end of the day because still a lion. So you can hide with your stripes, get your fruit stripes gum out, pick a flavor, chew it for 10 seconds, spit it out because either that you broke a tooth or the flavor ran out or you just swallowed a bunch of the artificial flavoring and now your pack's empty. So get your fruit stripe gum out of here, beat a lion, let's attack the zebra. You don't want to be a zebra, I'll tell you right now. So, being like the pack, you're clothing yourself like an acceptance. But who's accepting you? Your peers, I know you've been hanging out with your buddies and you're like, yeah, I got a great idea. And they're all like, either like, yeah, for the moment, or they're like, that's stupid. Or, then they try to give you advice on shit. But like, hey, don't take advice from somebody that never done nothing. And don't let your insecurities be the thing that knocks you down a level, so you stay with them in hell. So so get out of hell, let's go. Jesus wasn't accepted by like 99% of the world, and the guys that did, he just had a little pack of people at a table, and even one of them fucked him over. But hey, maybe that's the point of the story. Jesus probably knew that, and in order for him to prove his point, had to let somebody be the snake that they are in their heart. So if you're slithering around, get your legs back underneath you and start climbing, okay? Carry the cross. That's what I'm telling you. Nobody remembers the guy on the bench for the Bulls. They remember Michael Jordan. Who do you look to? You men out there. You got heroes. You got Tom Brady's. You got Kobe's. If you're not into sports, Genghis Khan. Let me conquer as much of the world as I can. Alexander the Great. Like get out there, man. Get on your horseback, walk around the damn earth, and lead people, lead yourself, and take a risk at greatness. Nobody remembers nobody else. I don't know about you, but I was living in fear. Like, hey, it'd be cool. Let me drink liquor and do substances, and that'll quell my my inner soul until I can't rise no more. Like what are we doing? I want to be Musashi. I want to get hammered, show up with a wooden sword, and then slice you down because you're too dumb to stay calm and you're pissed off because I was just wasting your time to get you upset so then I could take you over. So that's the plan. Just like get it together. Come on. I mean, I know All of you men are thinking this, and even some of you women are thinking this. Like you're out here, you're working at your job, you're in corporate world, you're working for the union, and don't fall victim to being average, and be comfortable with the pack. I worked at jobs like this with union jobs when I was on the train yard and all that. Like everybody just wants to be like status quo, do as least amount as possible. Like I'm gonna do very little and just hopefully collect my check, and then you ruin the world for everybody. Okay, stop it. Knock it off. Really sit down and think about it. If anybody of you guys are at home listening, I got a bunch of buddies in the union. I worked on these things like, even other jobs, roofing jobs, like the train yard, like whatever, electricians. Why do you want to be mediocre? Who, as a parent, as anybody, a mentor, says to any kid or anybody growing up, hey, don't try to be the best. Try to be mediocre Marvin. That's the way to do it. Keep your head down. You're going to die anyways. What is the deal? And then you're not doing things. You're a bad example for your wife, for your kids, for your community, to your peers. But a lot of your peers are going to be happy because they're too coward. They want to be the zebra and not the lion. Get up and be the lion. Start flexing it. I was in that coma. I was in zebra land, say, because if anybody's going to tell you, it's going to be me. But even when I was in zebra land, I was still crushing it at my sales jobs, still crushing music, still crushing it with the ladies, because I had that winner inside me. The champion was always in there. I just got so blinded and watered down by everybody around me that I just kind of stayed there. And, it's comfortable because doing new stuff is scary, but you're not going to grow laying in your bed. Get up. Get up. Set your soul alarm. Hey, soul, beep, beep, beep. We're going to rise to the top today. Stop being like everybody else. So you're at your job. Especially when you first get there, you're like, oh, I got to make sure these guys like me, because there's some dickheads out there that, be like, oh, he's not doing his job, and try to get you off. You know why? Because they're afraid. They know they're not doing the best they can do. And if you start doing better, or you start showing up on time and they're always late, you're going to be a threat to them. So don't get it twisted. They're going to try to convince you to be cool, laugh and tell jokes with them. So then you stay right where they are. And then those same guys are going to complain about your foreman and the boss and be like, well, he's got it made. He's got everything. That's because they suck as people. And that's the people you want to hang out with? Good luck. I hung out with them before. I grew up with them. They suck. The majority of guys I hung out with are in the gutter or dead or doing nothing or not taking care of their kids. The women hate them. They're walking around, talking shit, and your dream's not going to come true just because you say it. You got to do something about it. Get up and do something about it. Nothing's going to come to you. It doesn't. You're not winning the lotto. You're just not. The lottery is you being alive. We have it mentally twisted that we think it's wishful thinking. Wishful thinking is because you already know you're depressed and shitty and you're hoping just magical acts will happen. Hey, where's the magi? Is the magician coming? I hope he pulls a rabbit out of the hat because let me get the bunny ears, and that's how my life's going to turn out. Then you turn around, you're 85 years old, your kids hate you, you're barely scratching by, Social Security's getting canceled, and now you are pissed because you wasted your life because you was a COWARD, coward. Stop being a coward. That insecurity that you have. I'm afraid to try because most of you are afraid to try because what happens if you succeed? You won't know what to do with it. But that's the thing. The new things is the things that make you better, that you learn from. The insecurity is the devil winning. And what are you afraid of? You're gonna die. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? John that makes 35 grand a year is gonna make fun of you because you took extra time to tape the boxes right because you in your heart know you got to be the best you can be. Every job I had, I was the best I was at. Best waiter, best bartender, best busboy, best dishwasher, the best cook, the fucking, the best helper for the roofing company, the best supervisor at the train yard, the best of my sales jobs in cars, at windows, and yachts. I can't stand mediocrity. I hate it. Now, Do I walk in there and go, yeah, I'm the man, and put like the hot air balloon, doo-doo-doo, around the world in 80 days, here we go. No, I don't do it that way. You do it Sun Tzu, the Art of War way. You stay quiet, you stay humble, you stay on your path, you work towards it, and then nobody hates you, and you're protecting yourself. A lot of you think that by being quiet and letting certain little things slide, that you're being a pussy. No, the pussy is the guy that can't keep his mouth shut because he's not strong enough internally. He's scared, so he's got to mouth off about stuff rather than getting things done and just believing in himself and rising to the next level. That's why I think the worst thing that you see in the world, in life, is wasted talent. It's wasted talent. It really is. And I was going to be one of those statistics. I was wasting my talent with drinking and doing all dumb stuff. Here, let me get tuned up and, have a laugh with this guy, beat my body up, not treat anybody around me right. And then the people that actually love you, like your parents and people that know you're talented, even though some of them also don't want you to succeed, they see it and go, that's a shame. 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 Who are you? One of the Wayans brothers? Are you low down and dirty? Is Jada Pinkett gonna pop out little buns and save you? It's not happening. So don't waste your talent. I mean, you could be 40, 50 years old now. Hey, I really turned it on the last 4 or 5 years. And maybe not even that long. I mean, I was always doing well because I had that winner mentality. I don't like that nonsense. But I was only half-assed at it because I was in a drunken blur and, chasing women and, just doing dumb stuff and hanging out late and not focusing. Because it was scary to me that, I start doing good. Oh, what happens now? I got a target. I'm not like everybody else. I don't fit in with the crowd. Fuck the crowd. Fuck the crowd. Get him out of here. I want to be the guy in the court, not the guy in the nosebleeds. So I'm on the court. So you get on the court because you're all capable of it. So get it together. It's an affront to yourself, your family, your peers, and most importantly to God. He's up there going, I gave him all this talent. I gave him this wits. I gave him life, and he's still wasting it. And that's the devil winning. So, what are you trying to be cool for? For what? Be like what? Average Alan or already peaked Peter that you're working with? Forget them. Their input means nothing. It's God and you believing in yourself. So you want to start vibrating on that complain about life frequency? Because that's what the majority of guys I've ever worked with do. I mean, the guys at my job now, they're not like that, but all the other jobs I have, everybody complains. Oh, I couldn't believe it. They gave this guy the lead, or I couldn't believe it. He only carried 2 logs instead of 1. And did you see that? He got lucky with this customer and yada 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 yada. And the complaint. Oh, you make me sick. I need friggin' that pink shit that gets in your belly. I need Pepto-Bismol because you're making me sick to my stomach. Not only are you giving me diarrhea, I'm nauseous, I got a headache, and I got gurgling going on because your complaints are vibrating in me the wrong way. Oh, I'm going to puke. Oh, I'm going to puke. And I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Those guys that you're around, and then what happens is you get diluted and you become one of them. Why would you want to do that? Don't become Scumberto. We don't want Scumbertos around here. It's like fuck you, man. Fuck that. Not me, pal. You're not catching me that way. I got too much belief. And I'm running out of time now, because I realized I was like that and I wasted all that. But and I can complain about hardship, my childhood, addictions, like all this other stuff. And you complain about it. And everybody's got hardship. The kids that come from rich families, they burn down the house. They've been given everything and they ruin their lives because they don't know about work or worth or value, or they don't find a reason to pray because they got everything handed to them. And that sucks. I mean, I swear, I right now, my kids, I'm a nervous wreck about that. Like, I don't want to spoil them. I mean, they're probably getting spoiled now. It ain't like my childhood, but that makes me nervous because it's like, are they going to be weak men? And then they're going to, create a weak world. And then, guys are going to take over the empire. And then then after the ashes crumble, then you got to rebuild it. Maybe that's just a cycle of humanity, but I don't want to be part of that. So take the hardship as a blessing. Let it teach you a lesson. Don't let it break you. We all have it. So what? Shut the fuck up, stand up and get moving. You know, the older I get, you know, the more I despise crying ass motherfuckers. Whining. Well, I didn't do this, or I can't come to work Tuesday because my mother's got gout in her foot and I got to take care of her. And oh, that's why I didn't make enough money this paycheck because I had to go down and take care of this. And I had a fucking buddy call me. One of my buddy that we talked about with the cats. You know, oh, I'm having such a hard time. My cat's sick. My cat's sick? You're a human being. Get your life together. Oh, my life is so terrible. Mittens is having a stomach virus, and I'll have to call out of my job to make sure that she shits in the litter box, and I can I can take care of it. And oh, by the way, to make my life better, I got this special clump mixture. I want to murder you. I hate you. Get out of here, you know? I mean, and you're whining. I don't want to hear that. Hey, I got kids and people to feed. I got people counting on me. I got God looking after us right here. He's telling me right now, get it together. Keep moving. Keep pushing. Everybody's knocking on the doors now. It's like, get the fuck away from me. I can't stand it. I'm very lucky at my job now. The people there ain't like that. But I've been, every other job I've had, it's like, oh my God, and friends, oh, nobody wants to be around you. And then you wonder why your woman don't like you, because women, even though they tell you they want you to be, you know, they want you to be emotional and tuned in with your emotions. Don't buy it. They will leave you in a second. They say that. The second you act like a pussy, their pussy dries up. It's over. It's over. The dampness is now left the building, even though they said and they told you, and your dumbass believed it, that that's what they wanted. Be smarter than that. You're a man. Get it together. So, you know, it's like that. So, you know, the one or two times in my life I was like trying to be like, you know, extra romantic and like pleasing to a woman, they both left me. All the other ones was like, nah, I'm doing it my way. I'm in charge. And not dickishly, you know, not like abusively. But those are the ones that stay around. And I think, you know, a lot of my exes, I mean, even though I wasn't perfect, I probably hurt them. They might hate me, but I don't think they do because, you know, deep down I was good and kind and things like that. But it's like, you got to be a winner because, you know, winners win. And that's why I always work on winning. And if I lose, I pick myself up and I come back. It's a never-ending cycle. You knock me down, okay, I learned a lesson. I got to duck over here, you know, stand my feet different, and then I beat you the next round. And that's how it goes. You got to be Muhammad Ali, you know, standing over him. Yo, let's go. You know, it's just crazy. You know, have some drive, have some ambition. This is fun, dude. Yo, get up, grow a podcast. You know, get your family taken care of. Take risks. You know, sell something. You know, you know, just embrace life. This is what it is. You're laying in your bed under your covers and telling yourself you're healing. Like, oh, I'm recouping now. No, you're not. You're you're sinking into a sinkhole. You're gonna have bed sores. Get up and get moving. You will die if you stand still. Water gets stagnant. Everything ends. The earth stops spinning. Motion is the way. The obstacle is the way. So have some ambition and love or embrace the competition because that's what makes it fun. If everything was just even, that's boring. Every game was tied. Who am I rooting for? Hey, I hope it ends in 1-1, and that's why soccer sucks. Because it can end in a tie. And every one of you are going to flip out because it's the world's most popular sport. I don't want to watch it for 100 minutes and then have nothing to cheer about, okay? I want someone to win, so figure it out. Friggin' soccer. You're kicking a ball around for 2 days and 0-0. Not my type of game. Somebody win. So, you know, people say that, like, I guess it's probably for more like when you're not as much as enlightened, but like they say that, you know, comparison is like the thief of joy, but I don't buy that. I love having something to compare myself against, to strive to beat, a goal to aim for. Oh, that's possible. They did that. I could do that. And I believe in myself enough. I could probably do more. I'm going bigger. I'm going large. I'm going to the top. Think that, believe that, feel that. That's what it is, forget that. Yeah, most of these people, they get crushed by watching somebody's Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. Oh, they're having champagne and in Aruba. Oh, I'll never get there. And they're easily defeated by a two-dimensional picture. How did you get so weak and so stupid and so blind? Hey, you live on Earth. Pay attention. You go to the store every day. Those guys got Instagram. That lady you see pushing a cart around, spilling flour on the ground, is the one that's showing you a picture from Aruba. And you're over there going, I'll never get there. Stop. It's nonsense. Get out of here. Yes, there are a couple of rich people. They're Elon Musk. Yup. But 1 in a billion. That's why rare. But that's what you want to strive for. And you get defeated by a flat screen. So you walk into Best Buy and you just getting defeated left and right by Sony and Panasonic and and Vizio. They're just attacking you. Oh, there's a lady smiling. Oh, there's a guy dancing on a bar in Aruba. Oh, my life's over. You got problems. Hey, snap out of it, Pappy. Snap out of it. Not real. Okay? Focus on what's there. Have some drive and ambition. And even if you think it's real, why get defeated by it and go, I'll never get there? You're quitting already. Get out and try. Get out and try, you think it's crazy. And then you tell yourself so many lies and you're just scared to start, Yeah, yesterday you had an addiction. Well, get up today and start healing. You're out of shape today, get up and start working out. Your room's dirty, clean and fold your laundry. Start with something tiny. You haven't tied your shoes the last 6 times you wore them. Tie your shoe today. I'm going to do my bows, my little bunny ears. I'm going to get my laces tied up tight so you're walking a little better. Micro steps. And then micro steps will build into something great. But just start somewhere, gentlemen. Ladies, too, whatever. You're trying to go for something. Start somewhere. Start with the tiny thing. Your bed's not made. Make your bed. Start there. And then fold your laundry. And then clean the shit in the sink. But one thing at a time. You can't run 5 miles, walk 10 feet and then walk 11 feet and then just go. That's the only way it gets moving because you don't run out of time. The thing that gets me right now is time. I am like Salvador Dali everywhere I look, okay? I'm like a melting stopwatch or a pocket watch from a train driver who's on the Northern Pacific Railroad, melting to the side because I wasted so much time that I can't stand it a dime. I'm a clock in the desert, okay? I'm your grandfather clock. The little chimes and stuff aren't ringing. Ding da ding da ding da ding da ding, and I'm like, damn it! Another hour went by. I missed time with my kids. I missed time working on success. I missed time doing something good at my job. And what did I do? I became fatter, lazier, and more depressed. Not going to happen. Salvador Dali, melting clock. Not me, pal. Not me, pal. So forget about the comparison. It's a thief of joy. Fuck your life. I make mine. I'm gonna make my life that way. I'm gonna make mine better. You can do it. I can do it. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. Whatever happened to that song from Disney? Wherever it came from. Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. That's how I want my kids to think. That's how I want you guys to think. Oh, your guy at the job, he's putting up, four friggin' 2x4s an hour. I'm going to do 5. And then I'm going to do 6. And then I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be early. I'm going to work the last hour. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to dick around on lunch. And I'm just going to slowly create traction and create a track record of dependence on me and just be solid as a rock, and it'll get noticed. That's how it happens. And then you become the foreman, and then you run the union. So you do that thing. Enough blaming the world. I couldn't do it because of this. Couldn't do it because I didn't have a dad. I couldn't do it because I got beat as a child. I couldn't do it because I was on drugs. I couldn't do it because of this. Enough is enough. Enough blaming the world. Start looking in a mirror. That's why they make them. And if you see something you don't like, start changing it. Don't crawl back in your bed. You don't want to be you don't want to be, what is it, Sleeping Beauty, mirror, mirror on the wall, looking somebody's more beautiful than you. Get in shape. Get your shit together, get out of your bed. Tomorrow will not bring change unless you get up and change it. Look at your boy. Anybody who knew me, garbage, dumpster human. Now, chilling in a quick time. At least to me, it's quick. 3, 4, 5 years. Bang, 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 bang. Giant house, pool, beautiful kids. Life's going. Time now for a podcast because I'm not hungover 8 days a week. Sipping on the syrup, passing out in an alleyway, getting picked up by police because I fell asleep in a curb. Not happening no more, okay? I am no longer on the township portion of the property, which is the street. I am now inside my own. So I can do it, you can do it. You're witnessing it, anyone who knows me knows I was a saint. I was as wild as all you guys out there. And, I start seeing, I guess, we're mature in my age group and my generation, and people are calling me, man. People are starting to see it. They're going to gyms. They're talking about their dadness. I got so many phone calls and messages from people. Thanks, I never thought of it. And it's like I start to realize, like, all of us are just sitting there, quiet to ourselves, being zebra, and all it took was for crazy old me to start yapping into a camera. Hey, camera, I'm gonna yap into you. Well, maybe that's why God sent me to change the world, but I'm happy for all yous. So let's go. So you got to take extreme accountability, take full responsibility for your actions. If you got in trouble, you got a felony, I can't get a job anymore. Bullshit. Start your own friggin' landscaping company. Buy a mower for get it off. You probably get one for free from Nextdoor or Facebook, or shovel somebody's yard, get $25, buy the mower, move your thing up. I don't want to hear about it. Do something. You can do it. This is America, baby. This is America, baby. This is the land of the free. And you can do anything you want to do as long as you believe in the God, Jesus, and yourself. So get out there and get moving. Rock and roll, choose the harder path. It's hard to start with just the one mower and the one thing, and you got to, maybe give a hand job to fill up your first gas tank, but whatever. Get it there going. Go out there, start a landscape company or rake leaves or do something. You can build. I don't want to hear about the excuses anymore. Unless you got no limbs and your name is Matt, I don't want to hear about it. Unless literally the only thing you can do is get stepped on when I come into my door, whatever. Shake it up, help. Be a better Matt. When I walk in, just wiggle a little and help get the dirt off my shoes. Improve somehow. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it. So, train relentlessly, because the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. And you can do it by yourself. View the obstacles as fuel. View them as training. View them as moments. Every time I'm knocked down, I've seen so many people hit one wall. It's like this podcast thing. Do you know how many podcasts fail after 3 or 4 episodes? Like 90%. You didn't even give it a chance, bro. And that's why we're going to win. We're already all going. The next 5 days from now, we're going to have 10. We already doubled this shit, and we're going harder. I mean, forget about it. So you got to just maintain your calm under pressure, man. Stay composed. Don't let your emotions take you over. Don't let the peers at your job sucker you to go out drinking when you should be saving money. Don't let your friends make you do stuff that you know is not good for you. Like, I got a text the other day, and this is I'm not going to say who it is, but a very important person in my life, and I tried to be a role model for him and do some things, but I wasn't in the right 100% in the right state to do that. And it just upset me, because one of the things that he was upset about in his life was his dad not being around, and being a scumbag and abandoned him. And then I know that he knows what that pain is, and I know he's not breaking the curse of his family, and he's doing the same thing. And the sad part is he's got a really good heart, and deep down he's a really good person. And I just wish that, I hope the conversation I had with him, because like I said, people reaching out, really moves him on to the next level, to just buckle down and go. Forget everything. You need to have a why. That's what it is. You need to have a why. Your why has to be bigger than you and bigger than everything else. It's got to be winning. It's got to be being the best dad. It's got to be being the best at your job. It's got to be making an impact on the world. It's got to be getting so much money that you could like feed the homeless or help people with addiction. Your why's got to be huge. And most of the time, it's really easy if it's your kids. At least for me, it is. That was my why. My wife and my kids were the biggest why for me. And remembering how I felt as a child and all that, that was my why. You got to have a why. Find a why, and then just focus on that, and don't let anything else distract you. You can do this. I'm 350, 370. Bam, baby. It's possible. It's possible. Sleeping on a couch, house, 2 houses actually, but got to get rid of that other one. Anyways, it's all possible. You just got to get there, but you got to have a why, whether it just be to do the right thing by God because God gave you life, or to do it for your children, or to do it so you can leave a legacy on the earth, whether you don't have kids or whatever. You find a why because you want to give back, because you want to see, just the one reason. Hey, I want to see if I could do it while I'm alive. That might be the only thing, but that's it. But sitting around drinking and just talking shit and praying and doing all that nonsense and hoping and wishing, and wishing and hoping and wishing, that nothing ever comes of that. Prayer, that's why people don't get their prayers answered, because the prayers are actually saying, I'm hoping and I'm wishing. They're not praying the right way. You got to pray with what you're given and actually live the way that you're supposed to, and then your prayers will get answered, and them hopes and wishes and them dreams will come true. You got to vibrate at the right frequency. You got to show God that you mean what you say, because he's not just going to give it to you. So you got to earn it. But you are giving it because he gave you the power and the tools to do the thing so you could get it. But just hoping and wishing ain't going to figure it out. You got to be all commitment, zero hesitation. Warriors say, I can, I will, and I must. I must. It's full effort or it's nothing. Clear goals, the purpose, that's your why, and your self-belief. Believe in yourselves, man. Believe in yourselves. Don't let your peers, little fucking Roger yapping in your ear, oh, you can't own a house and rent it to people, or you can't start a landscape company, or you can't make money, or you can't get a job because you got DWIs, and you can't get a job because you were on drugs forever and your life's over and it's too late. It ain't too late. Get it together. Focus. Make the difference, guys and ladies. Let's go. Be resilient, adaptable, get knocked down, get back up, stronger, keep fighting after you get hit, endure the long grind, and adapt without losing clarity on your goal, and be decisive. My wife tells me all the time, she's like, you just boom, do it, make the decision, boom, do it, make the decision. You're doing a podcast, bang, I'm doing it. Oh, you're gonna go be the best at your job, boom, I'm doing it. Oh, you're gonna get us a house, boom, you're doing it. Oh, you need the best insurance, boom, you're doing it. She's like, you just bang out, you don't even talk about nothing. I'm like, yeah, because I'm already prepared in my mind. I'm making the moves, baby. I am Michael Jackson. I'm PMoon walking. I'm making the moves, baby. I'm doing the Van Damme dance. I'm making the moves. I'm moving the podcast from one room to the other. We're making moves. We're making decisions. And you could be a mover and a shaker too. Hey, shake and bake. If you're not first, you're last. Second is the worst. First is the best. Whatever the hell the thing did when you were looking to be online as a kid. Get the kid back in you. I want to be first in line. I want to get that instilled back in you. Everybody being equal is a miserable planet. Nothing's cool. Nothing's exciting. And it's boring. God didn't put us here to be boring. He said, I'm going to give you free will. I'm going to give you a vast planet and universe you could work on for you to see what you can do. And that's the best video game. Hey, gamers, you're in a game. Play it to win. You don't pick up Mario Brothers so you can die on level 1 and throw the game out the window. All right, game's over, throw it out. No, you play to win. You played Mike Tyson Punch Out, you know? Every time bull came down, he would knock me out, but I'd be like, damn it, I gotta go. And then that time you had to like go back through all the levels because, you know, and if you hit select, the guy would beat on your chest, you get a little bit more life. So you have to do that, boom, boom, until you beat him. It's like, that's what you got to do, you know? You got to be purpose-driven, fight for something bigger than you, and do it with honor, and do it for what's right. Don't cheat and steal your way through because you'll get caught. And believe it or not, like I hated, like when we'd be playing basketball as kids on the court, we'd be playing from 9 in the morning till 9 at night, and like there's always been kids that cheat and guys that cheat, and like I hated when someone would be like, oh, you cheated or you fouled. I'd be like, whatever, take it. I want to win the right way. If that's how you feel, I'm going to still beat you, even if you're doing your shady little cheat thing, because that's the kind of guy I am. Oh, you think we're not doing it? All right, I'll just do it again. I'm not even putting up a fight against you. That's how you feel. I'm going to beat you. Even if you feel that way, I'm going to let you do your little cheat dance or your little scam play and then still come back and beat you because you is a baby. You know, because, you know, you know, being a warrior is not about the act of fighting. It's refusing to quit when facing challenges you believe in. And in the end, the warrior mentality, which is what I want all you guys to have, the warrior mentality is ultimately a choice. You can choose to crawl into a cave and die, crawl into your bed and die, choose to hang around people with excuses and all their nonsense, or you could choose that, hey, this is not easy. But once I realize that's the part that makes it exciting, I'm gonna go out and do it, man. You know, you have to, and then doing the things like working out and like I knew all the reason I was great at cars. I knew the cars better than anyone. The guys from Hyundai came down and were like, "Hey, do a walkthrough of the car." I knew more about the car than they did, and they make the car. How does that work? How do I know about more inches and knobs and trims and window buttons and little pieces and little folds and rubber than you do? That's why crush the game. Prepared, you know, and I was decisive after preparation. So once I built the value, once I got the things going, boom, 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 I meander. I'm confident now, baby. You know, this is it. You know, that's the supreme art of war. I'm Sun Tzu. You know, the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without them even fighting. So when I'm selling the car, they don't even know what's going on. I'm building so much value. I'm making the thing seem way more than it is that I average over sticker. You can't do that. Yes, you can, because I believe in myself. I'm a winner. So I win first in my mind and in my body, and then I go to war. I win in here, in here, in here, and in this, in the belief in your heart. That's where you win first, and then you go fight. You know? Defeated go to the guys who lose, they go to war, and then they're like, oh, I guess I gotta win. No, you win before you even get there. You know, you got to be prepared. You know, chance favors the prepared. So you got to know your enemy and know yourself, and you can fight 1,000,000 battles and come out unscathed. You know, Sun Tzu, baby. Let's rock and roll. So on another point, just to like, you know, mix in a little bit more fun here, because this was a little bit, you know, less exciting fun, but a little more like what we got to get into, because I can't just talk about cookies all day. You know what I'm saying? You know, you start to get, you know, bored of it. I want this podcast to be, you know, multifaceted. I want it to be an inside picture into me. And I want, out of anything, I want it to be like what it's been doing, but on a larger scale. Like everybody coming out and talking and reaching out and seeing it. Some guys are laughing. Some guys are thanking for dad stuff. Some guys are thanking for the fitness stuff. And all the algorithms tell you, you got to pigeonhole yourself. I'm not pigeonholing, man. I mean, I'll kind of be directed in a little bit of a direction, but I'm not one thing. I'm not just a guy who talks about, you know, stereos the whole time, or yachts, or, you know, whatever, or cars. It's not one thing. That's not what this is. I want this to be a reflection, a portrait of an American man, father, friend, and community leader, and social, and a media guy that really puts it out there and hopefully makes an impact, even if it's on one guy that's sitting in his house that just goes, damn, PMoon said something, you know what? I wasn't paying attention to my daughter. I'm going to go out and change my life. Or damn, I'm tired of being fat and I'm tired of the way everybody looks at me. And I'm tired of the way I feel about myself. And you know what? I'm going to make a change. And you know what? The other guy's like, I'm angry inside and I hate the world and I don't believe in God, but maybe he's right about God. And maybe, you know, I give it a shot and then that opens him up and that heals him. And it's like, we got to bring some positive energy and balance to this universe. There's a lot of hatred and like misunderstanding. You know, that's why they say ignorance is bliss. That's like a real thing, because I know it's hard for me sometimes because I like knowledge is a poison, because I know and see too much that like it'd almost drive you crazy. It'd almost drive you crazy. Like if you could step into my mind for a minute, it would probably drive you insane, because I see every angle. I see things that people don't see. And then if you try to talk to people about things that you see, they think you're crazy or they don't understand, even though you're speaking English together, the same words, it's not computing the same. And it's very lonely out here. So maybe part of this is me being lonely, and just maybe, you know, looking, I've decided that that's okay. I'm okay with that loneliness. And just like I was saying earlier, I could let that defeat me, or I could say, fuck that, you know, fuck that. I'm just going to go do it and win. Who cares what anybody thinks or how I feel? I got kids and family now, and I got people out there that are counting on me. And I think people are coming out, they're believing in me, and I believe in me. And that's the fun part, you know. Doing this podcast is like, oh, is the views going to go up? Is the thing going on? Am I doing it the right way? My algorithm, you know, is my caption right? This is fun. This is fun. I mean, but again, winner. So gonna win at the podcast, obviously, because that's what community we're building. And I want you at home and everybody watching, I want you to know you're a winner. It's in there. It's inside of you. It's in your soul, man. God gave it to you. Stop quieting that part of you that you know is capable of being different. Stop drowning in the noise of your peers and the talk of others. Stop it. Come on, man. Let's go. Be great. You're capable of it. And even if you don't hit the stars and you make it to the moon, it was better than lying in that bed. So I want to say thank you. And, you know, this has been awesome. And let's do it, man. We are 9 episodes in now. And we brought the lion with us. We're fucking roaring. We're roaring in this motherfucker. We're here. Where's the rest of my beasts? Get out of the zebra, because we're coming. We're coming. This is going to be a PMoon community. We are coming. We're going to be laughing and telling jokes across the way, screaming about cookies. We're going to be, you know, making people think, getting people motivated. And, you know, we're just going to try to build something and maybe walk some people towards God. But damn it, baby. Damn it. You know, just like, you know, a Tyson punch out. Let's go. Glass Joe ain't got shit on me. Don't be Glass Joe. Be Mike Tyson. Be Mike Tyson. Even if you don't make to the championship round, strive your best to get there. You can do this. Let's go, baby. The lion. Get the lion. Get the lion. Woo! I feel the storm a-coming, baby. Episode 9. Episode 9. Get out there, tell your friends, like and subscribe, get rowdy, get on TRT, pop some peptides, tell your friends to get off their ass, get out of your bed, clean your room, represent, let's go, PMoon Podcast, episode 9, baby. The lion.